Today I'm joined by a young lady who is supported by Sikh Youth UK through her ordeal of exploitation, extortion, blackmail, and revenge porn.
So
So
tell me
this
a bit
video comes
about
with a
what you
trigger
went
warning.
through.
Over the past 2 to 3 years, I've been through a lot. It started with a guy that I met at uni. It was DMU in Leicester. We met in around 2019. We started talking. We met a few times, and then around around the same year, about September October time, he started asking me for money. Um, at the start, obviously he was just a friend, and he was telling me he's quite desperate for money, and I did tell him that obviously my parents would have a look at my statement. I didn't want to give it, but I did end up giving him a bit of money. And then throughout the year, we started meeting more. I moved out for uni. He would take my flat key, telling me emotional stories about how his family doesn't care about him and he needs a place to stay. So I gave him my flat key, not thinking anything about it. I'd go home on the weekend and he'd have girls come over. I'd have people telling me about it. He'd have people come over. He would trash the place. Even then, I wouldn't say anything. I was just too scared to speak. And then we started getting closer. We started talking more, meeting up more often. He had videos and pictures of me. They're quite they're inappropriate videos he had of me. He started using them against me throughout the year. He'd say to me, "If you don't give me this amount of money, I'll show your parents." He knew I didn't have a lot of family left. He knew what I was going through. I was having my own family problems at the time. So he took my money. I'd have to give it to him. I'd transfer it to him. I had no choice. Carried on like that. I was in a little circle really. Throughout the year, I had no one to talk to. I ended up giving a lot of money, literally left with nothing. And the videos continued, the pictures. Often he'll text me saying, "If you don't do this, I'll send you pictures." And I knew from the past as well. I had people telling me about how he did it to them as well. I had a few other girls come to me about it, but obviously in the moment at the time you don't really think that it would happen. It's quite hard to explain, but this other girl told me about what he did to her. I didn't think anything of it at the time, but as I started going through it, then I started realizing that I'm not the only girl that he does it to. He's done it to several other people as well. I had no one to talk to, and it just carried on for a good 2 years. And then it got to a point where I just couldn't deal with it anymore. I was left with no money. As soon as I'd get paid, it'd go to him. I'd had nothing. I had no one to talk to. I couldn't even tell my own friend. I got really desperate. I literally told him, I texted him a few times, and he stopped speaking to me. He stopped replying to my messages. He'd ignore it. The only time he'd message me was when he needed help with something, or if he needed money, or if he was going to threaten me with my pictures. And doing that, I think towards the end of 2020, the start of 21, I did message him and I said to him, "I really need my money back. I need you to delete my pictures. I need you to delete those videos." And he said to me, he's going to send those. He said that one of his friends had the videos. He sent it to her as a backup. And I've seen in his laptop before, I've seen videos and pictures of other girls as well. One time he sent one of the videos to the girl's mom. So I knew he wouldn't hesitate. He would just do it. He would send the pictures. And I was scared because if my mom had seen them or if anyone in my family had seen them, I'd lose everything. I'd have nothing left. So I was scared. Even then, I never spoke to anyone about it. I carried on helping him. I carried on sending the money. The pictures and videos, he'd often tell me his friends have it. And if I don't do this, if I don't help him with the money, he'd send it. I had no choice. I got to a point where I even told him, I was like, "I'm going to come to your house. I'd kill myself in front of your house." And he didn't care. He didn't care about it. He didn't care. And even on text, he said, "I wouldn't care if you died. You have nothing to live for anyway." He'd make me lose so much confidence about myself. I started believing things he'd say. "You're not worth anything. You've got nothing. I'll just send you pictures and videos. I can ruin your life in a minute. I can do this to you. I can come to your house." He said to me, "I'll set your car on fire. I'll tell your mom. I'll show your mom everything. You'd have nothing left. You'll be alone. I've got everything." The money that you sent to me, it's nothing to me. But to me, those pictures and videos, if they had come out, I'd have nothing. I'd have literally nothing. I have no family. I didn't know who to speak to. I couldn't go to my family. I had no one to talk to. And I thought, it's better if I just don't live. I tried to talk to someone at work, but I knew like no one would understand, no one would help. And then I knew about the Sikh Youth UK. I've seen things that they've done to help people in the past as well. So I messaged them and I explained everything to them. Like, this is what I'm going through. I have no one to talk to. I have no one to tell, and I don't know what to do. I just don't see any way out of it. I feel like I'm just stuck. And they supported me literally from the minute I messaged them. They called me straight away and they helped me. We went to his house around about February just to talk about what had happened. I just wanted to talk it out. I just wanted my pictures and videos to be gone. So we went to his house, we spoke to him, and he said that first he denied that he'd even had any pictures or videos, but I knew he had everything. I've seen it. And when they opened the laptop, he had backup of not just me, loads of other people. There's so many different people on there, and I've seen messages. I've seen messages on his laptop where girls were asking him to delete their pictures, delete their videos, and he was doing the same, threatening them, taking money. He'd use it against everyone. I wasn't the only one. But they got my pictures deleted. They helped get my pictures and videos deleted, so I was relieved that at least no one else would see them. It was embarrassing at the time, and it's hard to speak about it, but it had to be done. If I didn't speak to them, I would have no one else to speak to. And then I came home. I felt like it was fine. Everything was done and over. I felt a bit of relief, like it was all over. No one knew about it. I got my stuff back. I got my pictures and videos deleted. We made an agreement. We spoke it out. Nothing else happened. And a few days later, he had 3 of us arrested, me, my brother, and Deepa from Sikh Youth. My brother had nothing to do with anything. All we did was speak about it. He reported things that were lies, lots of lies. Even in the police interview, it was just full of lies. I just couldn't believe the things that he was coming out with. Everything that he was reporting was actually what he had done to me, what he had done to us. Nothing as such had even happened, and it was embarrassing for me as well. It happened in front of my mom. She seen me get arrested. She seen my brother get arrested. The stress he's put me through. And at the point, he made me feel like, again, like, what was the point? Like, I should not have even spoke to anyone about it. I should have just killed myself. It would have been easier. No one would know. But even then, like, I had a lot of support from Deepa, who kept ringing me, who kept making sure I was okay. Even when I would be at work, all I would do is cry about it. Just think about it constantly. It would always be on my mind.
I'm shocked you said that you got arrested. Well, all 3 of you got arrested. What was the outcome of that?
The charges did get dropped, but it was a long procedure. So the charges were, well, I didn't get charged, but it went on for a good 3 to 4 months. But in the end, the investigation got concluded and no further action was taken against any of us. But I had a great team to support me from the start. Sikh Youth got me a good legal team as well to support me. So they kept, so from the time I got arrested, even just before that, because I knew the police were coming, because my brother got arrested first. So from the start, always in contact. And then obviously they helped us out. And the police as well, they did take my statement as well because he got interviewed by the police as well. So I gave my account of what he had done to me. So they investigated it. He got interviewed by the police. And after that is when I got a letter from him saying he would pay me back, and that the police as well had no further action.
Were there any kind of safeguarding procedures at university or any support that you received from the university?
Initially, I didn't speak to them the police. I told the university about what had happened, but they did contact me. They did speak to me about what had happened, so I did have a bit of support from them as well. They did investigate everything that he had done, and they were aware that he had been doing it to other girls who also went to DMU in Leicester. So they did try to do as much as they could. They started an investigation to see what he had been doing to the girls. So I did get a bit of support from the uni as well.
What actually made you contact Sikh Youth?
I knew about the things I had done to help other girls who had been in a similar situation before, so it wasn't just me. I had no one else to speak to, and I know that they would definitely help. They wouldn't turn me back. They wouldn't leave me. So I knew I could speak to someone from them, from their team, and that's what I did. I just messaged them, and like I said, like from the day I messaged them, it's just they've always been there, like always calling me. Deepa's always, every time I've been upset, he's always been on the phone to me, giving me hope, a lot of support. Some days I've literally given up. I'd call him from work, telling him like I don't even want to go home, or like I don't think I can do it anymore. But like the support he gave to me, it kept me going, and I feel like that's probably the reason why I'm still here.
And I guess like the most important question to ask is like, how are you actually doing now?
I'm okay. I'm better than before compared to how I was last year, but some days I still sort of think about it, and when I do get flashbacks, I can't believe it. Like, how can that happen to me? I wouldn't think in my life, I never ever thought I'd have to go through something like that, or like I'd be embarrassed, or I'd have to go through. I thought my career was going to come to an end because of what he had done. I've done nothing to him, nothing, and I've literally been punished for something I haven't done. I tried to help him, but in return, like he got me arrested. He's got Deepa arrested. He's made up lies. I don't even know what to say about him. I can't believe him, but I've got the support now, so at least I know that I can speak to someone about it. I'm not by myself anymore. Whereas at the start, I was alone. I had no one to talk to, but now I've got a lot of people to talk to. I've got the support now.
And what would you say to somebody that was going through a similar situation? What advice would you give them?
Speak up. You're never alone. You think in the moment that you're by yourself and you feel like you've got no way out, and like ending your life wouldn't really do anything. You just pass it on to other people, but you've got the support. Deepa and his team are definitely there. Like, message them, you can call them. Um, they'd help you from literally the time you text them. They would be there for you. So speak up about it. If you don't speak up, you'd literally be in the circle that I was in. You'd get no support. You'd feel like there's no way out. And the person that does it to you, like him, he'll carry on because he knows that you're by yourself. What are you going to do? Like, what could I do by myself? But if you speak up, if you tell someone about it, obviously they can support you. They can be there for you. So at least a person like him, he knows now I've got support. So he stopped harassing me now, but he started paying me back because he knew I had the support, whereas before he knew I didn't, so he was constantly threatening me.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for sharing your story with me. I know it's probably very, very difficult to relive, but I really, really appreciate